Welcome, and thank you for joining us at SilverStone's 2022 product launch event. My name is Sean, and I'll be your host for the day. 2022 has been a great year for us thus far at Silverstone. With more products coming, I'm thrilled for this opportunity to present to you what we've got lined up for the rest of the year. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Every year, the DIY PC industry is blessed with newer releases of CPUs and GPUs. This shifts the landscape ever so slightly due to the increase in size, its power draws, and the heat output. These factors have a direct impact on our product designs, and as a result, thermal designs for our cases, coolers, and power supplies must undergo vigorous testing to ensure excellent cooling efficiency and operational stability. Cooling fans play a vital role in keeping system component temperatures low. By having the right system fan set up for your case allows you to squeeze out the best performance for your system while prolonging its lifespan. As innovation progresses, the demands for greater specification cooling fans also increases. Therefore, we'll be releasing quite a number of fans in different sizes with different styling, designed for different applications. I'd like to introduce a new series of fans called the Shark Force Series fans. The signature feature and the reasoning behind the series names is in the design we've implemented on the fan blades. We took inspiration from the hydrodynamic properties of shark skin, which acts as a drag reducing mechanism to improve its aerodynamic property. It passively alters the airflow to favorably affect the pressure gradient along the fan blades, resulting in increased airflow, performance, and noise level compared to an identical fan without the Shark Force pattern. Shark Force fans features 4-pin PWM control function, fluid dynamic bearing, with a 3-phase motor and 6-pole rotor ring design, and includes an advanced PWM controller that enables much smoother ramp up of fan speed when powered up compared to typical PWM fans, capable of running at ultra low speed at 200 RPM. Implemented for the first time, a modular cabling design for fan power and ARGB lighting, also being able to daisy chain for both functions. This simplifies cable management whilst leaving the option for unplugging and disabling ARGB lighting effects open. Shark Force series fans consist of 120mm, 140mm, and 160mm. You might be wondering, 160mm? Well, it's a unique fan dimension we developed with the intention of upgrading applications originally designed for 140mm fans. By widening the overall structure of the frame and fan blades, provides a greater cooling surface while producing higher airflow and higher static pressure ratings. Even though it's 160mm in width and depth, the fan mounts designed are for 140mm mounts, which can be easily fitted into any chassis with 140mm fan mounts, as long as there's enough side clearance for the protruding 20mm. Shark Force series fans are excellent choices for intake and radiator application, as it's capable of maintaining quietness under light loading, whilst allowing for industrial fan level top speed or fan idle operation through advanced PWM control. It's almost as if you're getting 2 fans in one. Next, we've got the Penetrator Series, which is our famed lineup of air channeling fans featuring our iconic air channeling grille, which has a long history deeply rooted at Silverstone. Here's a live demonstration of how a 140mm air penetrator fan matches up against the same size fan with similar rotational speed. You can see that the air penetrator is capable of pushing air quite far and keeps the balloon afloat in the center in a focused channel, in comparison to a standard fan without the air channeling grille. So you can imagine with a couple of these inside a case, will really drive out the hot air out quite effectively. This is the Air Penetrator 120SK ARGB. It's the most feature-packed air penetrator fan to date, featuring a 4-pin PWM control function, which boasts a rotational speed of up to 2000 RPM. Fluid dynamic bearing as the bearing of choice, and 9 translucent fan blades, which we've also incorporated our Shark Force fan blade pattern on. Under the translucent housing are 8 individual ARGB LEDs. Lastly, modular cabling design has also been featured on the Air Penetrator 120SK ARGB. As you can see next to me, we've got a collection of the most recent air penetrator fans in 120mm, 140mm, and 180mm sizes, which are available on the market already. 180mm air penetrator fans specifically have continually topped performance charts of extra large PC fans over the years, and has been the main contributor to our chimney style stack effect design cases. Therefore, you can find out we have an Air Penetrator 184i Pro pre-installed in our most recent stack effect design case, the Ultra G1M. Moving on to our next series of fans, the Air Slimmer series. which are slim fans designed for space-constrained systems. The Air Slimmer series will first be released with two sizes, the 92mm and 120mm. Both sizes will be available in a standard black version and an ARGB version. At only 15.2mm thick, it's capable of moving a large airflow volume with great resistance level, making them ideal not only as an intake fan, but also as a heatsink or radiator fan. Which takes us to our CPU cooler segment, where we've focused on improving compatibility and solving space efficiency in small form factor landscape. This is VIDA Series of slim profile AIO CPU coolers, available in 120mm and 240mm. In a world where every millimeter counts, it's 22mm radiator thickness plus a 16mm fan thickness for a total of 38mm, makes it possible to fit in a lot more cases and opens up more space in tighter confines. Furthermore, it's also a great solution for micro ATX users facing insufficient clearance problems. In many standard micro ATX towers, for instance, when installing a dual fan or even triple fan graphics cards, they're left with insufficient clearance for standard thickness AIOs. This helps alleviate that problem. We've also implemented a rotatable water block design. Due to the fact that water block placement has always been an issue for many, this design completely eliminates this issue, so it can be positioned upright for any and every configuration. Moving on to air coolers, we've got an air cooler that's also made for the small form factor ecosystem, the Hydrogon H90 ARGB. At a total height of 48mm in horizontal layer, equipped with 4 copper heat pipes, and the included fan is the aforementioned Air Slimmer 90 ARGB. It's designed for excellent thermal conductivity and flawless compatibility with all current mini ITX motherboards. This is the Hydrogon D120 ARGB, the white variant to the previously released black version. It's a dual tower air cooler with dual fans, designed for CPUs with high power draws in a tower or small form factor cases. It comes with 6 copper heat pipes with a unique heatsink offset to avoid interference with memory modules for all compatible platforms. SilverStone, being a company at the forefront for power supplies, has new units for the most recent update of 12-volt high-power PCIe connectors with Intel ATX 3.0 standards, preparing you for the next generation of NVIDIA Gen 5 graphics cards. For Gen 5 ready ATX PSUs, we've got the Hella 850R, which is a fully modular unit with Cybernetics Platinum rating certification. We've also got the Decathlon 850R, 1000R, and the 1200R, which is a fully modular unit with Cybernetics Gold rating certification. For Gen 5 ready SFX PSUs, we have the Extreme 850R, which is a fully modular unit with Cybernetics Platinum rating certification. Onto NAS storage cases. This is the CS351. Accommodates a micro ATX motherboard featuring a backplane that supports 3.5-inch hard drives and 2.5-inch SSDs in either SATA or SAS format, and 4 expansion slots for graphics cards, network adapter, and RAID cards. CS351 can accommodate up to 8 2.5-inch SSDs, but due to the drive tray being on the graphics card side, the amount of 2.5-inch drives installed correlates to the graphics card's length limitation. This is the RM44, a 4U chassis that supports 360mm radiators, motherboard up to SSI EEB, and graphics cards length of up to 424mm. You can install up to 2 3.5-inch drives and 4 2.5-inch drives, or 7 2.5-inch drives all up if you don't plan on using any 3.5-inch drives. Other great features include a Type-C port on the front I/O, mounting holes for sliding rails for racks, anti-theft lock design for added security, and most importantly, if you don't wish to mount it in a rack, we've included case feet, which allows you to place it in an upright position if you wish. For our case segment, we have exciting new cases from our ATX mid-tower range. The Farah, which is our entry-level cases, the Zeta, which is our mid to high range cases, and Alta, which is our flagship tower series. We've also got cases from our Milo series line of slim and compact cases for home, office PC. In front of me are the Milo 11 and Milo 12. Milo 11 is a micro ATX enclosure which supports TFX form factor power supply and up to 272mm graphics card length. In the middle is a drive bracket that sits on top of the chassis, which accommodates for 1 2.5-inch drive, one 2.5 inch or 3.5 inch bay, and unlike all other Miller series enclosures, an external opening for 9.5mm slim optical drive. Case feet are also included, so at the completion of the build, you can opt for a vertical or horizontal placement. Miller 12 is a little bit different to the 11, which sports a dual compartment internal structure similar to the RVZ03 and ML08. Supports mini ITX or mini DTX motherboards, CPU coolers of up to 77mm, with an added flexibility of mounting either an ATX PSU or a SFX PSU with a slim optical drive, and is compatible with 3 slot graphics cards up to 345mm in length. This is the Farah 511, an ATX mid-tower chassis which features a full mesh front panel with ARGB lighting strips on both sides. There are 6 fan mounts altogether and accommodates radiators up to 360mm at the front and 280mm on top. 2 2.5-inch SSD trays behind the motherboard, and under the PSU shroud, a drive case supports one 3.5-inch drive and one 3.5-inch or 2.5-inch drive. Graphics card clearance of up to 360mm in length and 169mm in width, and CPU cooler height limitation of 162mm. This is the Farah 501, which is identical to the 511 except for the ARGB lighting. If you like the Farah 511, but ATX isn't your motherboard of choice, we've also got a downsized micro ATX version which supports 280mm radiators with a total of 5 mounts, supports 2 3.5-inch drives and 3 2.5-inch drives. Graphics card clearance of 368mm in length and 182mm in width. Moving on to our mid to high range chassis, the SETA series. This is the SETA H1, this is the SETA Q1, and this is the SETA D1. A family of SETA chassis aimed specifically at different markets and users. SETA Q1 is for users seeking complete silent system operation. It has an innovative soundproofing technique that's capable of keeping acoustic noise level low at the front panel, which is embedded with a sound maze design that creates multiple barriers and longer distance for sound waves to travel through, thus reducing sound energy and noise. The side panels, top and bottom of the chassis are also applied with sound dampening material to absorb additional sound energy. SETA Q1 was awarded the best soundproofing case by Cybernetics, topping the chart of all soundproofing cases they've tested with a performance rating of 9.8. SETA H1 is aimed at more of a gaming-orientated market, with a fully perforated mesh front panel embedded with an ARGB light strip. Included fans are the 160mm fans, which is the first case we've included this fan dimension to enhance its intake performance right out of the box. SETA D1 is aimed at users with large storage requirements who utilizes a wide array of different form factor drives. It's a highly modular storage chassis capable of mixing and matching up to 8 3.5-inch or 2.5-inch drives and 4 5.25-inch drives. All 3 supports motherboard up to SSI EEBs, radiators of up to 360mm, graphics card clearance of 394mm, and 30 series Founders Edition graphics card bracket. H1 and Q1 on the other hand also features a multi-function bracket which can be used as cable covers for the right side of the motherboard, 2.5-inch SSD mounts, or as a reservoir mount for users seeking custom cooling route. Lastly, this is a case Silverstone fans should be excited for. It's a monolith of a PC case, which is the new Ultra Series case. It's still in its prototype stage, so please stay tuned for the release date. That concludes the event for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us once again, and I will see you next time.